I want to continue with what I've been working with the last couple of weeks in these videos in setting an intention and then letting go of controlling the outcome, kind of surrendering the outcome to the universe. I want to work a little more with control because I think it's really misunderstood in spiritual communities. Control is seen as a negative thing. I've talked about control. We don't want to be a control freak. We don't want to be controlling. We want to surrender and let go of control. And when I talked about the downside of control last week, I was very specific. We want to let go of controlling the outcome. Okay? But that's only part of it, right? We still are setting an intention, and then we're letting go of controlling the outcome. So what do we control? What do we take control of? Okay, is we take control of setting the intention. Now, sometimes we don't call it control, but we choose an intention, and hopefully we make a conscious choice to set an intention, a free choice, free of making an unconscious choice that's made from our conditioning, which is how many people in our culture make choices. It's definitely how, if I don't pay attention, it's how I make choices. So we want to bring conscious awareness to the choices we make when we set an intention. Okay, and we want to take away the automatic pilot of just making unconscious choices, because when we do that, we're almost always, at the very least, if not always, we're making them from our conditioning. Okay, so I want to work a little more with intention too. Intention is not just, being up and doing ceremony and setting an intention. Intention also means taking action. My action is intention. When I allow energy in an experience, I get my call for action. I act on that. That's an intention. It's not just, something that I set to create things. It's like it's choosing in day-to-day experiences. It's intention. It's making a choice and then letting go of the outcome of that choice, seeing what happens, making another choice. Okay, so, we're not just totally letting go of control. That's not what this is about. That's not grounded. It's like I'm taking control, I'm making a free choice, and then I'm letting go of the outcome. Then I'm surrendering control to the universe. Okay, then I take that in, then I make another choice. So I just wanted to clarify that, and so I want to continue to work with this idea of making a choice. So how are the ways that we don't have a free choice? How are we making unconscious choices? One is by obviously not being conscious, being in our old patterns, doing things out of habit. We defer choice often. In other words, we don't make choices. We go along with the situation, which means going along with our conditioning. We make choices out of obligation. Okay, we feel obligated to make a choice. We make passive choices where we don't want to hurt our friends' feelings. We don't want to speak the truth. We get a call for action. We get this truth, we know, but we kind of don't make the choice because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or we're afraid what will happen, or we don't want to take responsibility for what will happen. The real irony is, of course, is that we're going to be responsible for what happens when we don't make a choice too, but it doesn't feel that way quite as much. All the codependency and all those patterns, we go along with things. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. We want people to like us, and these are all human things. They're not bad. We all have that, right? But it's like, but who is it? What part of us is in control? Is it the codependent, the not wanting to hurt people's feelings, the wanting people to like us? Is that what's the captain of the ship? Is that what's controlling our life? Or are we pulling up things and making a choice because we want to make it? We choose on what we want to do. It's like, this is what's going on. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to choose to be in this experience because I want to be there. Okay, right, wrong, or indifferent, I choose to show up and I choose this. Okay, I choose to go to work because it brings me, whatever livelihood for my family. So if I'm making that choice, then I'm going to be all in, both feet in, and I can do it with joy, not doing it like resenting being there or whatever else. It's not doing it like, oh, I feel, or obligation. It's like if I hang out with a friend, I'm there because I want to be there. If I'm in a relationship, okay, I'm there because I want to be, not because I feel like that's the only person that will like me, not because I don't want to hurt her feelings or his feelings, not because of I'm staying there for whatever it is, I don't want to hurt the kids or I don't want to upset the whatever. It's like, these are complex things, but generally it's like, do I want to be there? And then if I want to be there, I choose to be there, and then I'm all in. And then I can be there because it brings me joy. That's a very different energy than being obligated or just going through the motions or making choices on automatic pilot. So if you think about it, what we've been doing and what happens in our culture quite a bit is we defer our choice and we defer control and defer our choice when we're making an intention. We make an unconscious choice and we don't rock the boat and we kind of go along, out of obligation or codependency or whatever else. And then because we're not real crazy about the choice we made, it wasn't the choice we maybe really wanted to make. So then we try to control the outcome to make it more so we can try to get something we need out of it. And so one thing leads to the other. Rather, what I'm suggesting you try, not because I said so, but just maybe it would be different. Maybe you do this, and that's great. It's like make a free choice. Choose something that you want. Have the courage to say, I want this. Create an intention. Take action in this way, and then surrender control over the outcome and see what happens. So I'm controlling, I'm letting go of control, I'm choosing, and then I'm allowing life to partner with me and give me form. So I just wanted to clarify that, and then next week we will move on to something else. So that's our video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week, and maybe just try to just choose something that you want, be all in, and then let go of control and allow the mystery of the outcome. And I will see you in a week.